Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to talk about this very important step of a publication process. And this is about how to address the reviewer's comment when you receive them from the editor. So when you publish your research or review article, when you submit, actually not publish, when you submit it to a journal, first it goes to the editor, handling editor, and then a handling editor, if they accept the paper, the format and everything, then they send it to the peer reviewers, and the peer reviewers, they volunteers their time to review the article, review the scientific content or the validity of the study, and they get back to the editor with their comments. Usually those comments are constructive criticism on how on like if the study, first of all, if the study is valid, if the study has any scientific value, and then how else can this study or like manuscript can be improved. So if you are a first time paper author, or like if you are a PhD student or master's student who are going through the process for the first time, very first time, or like this is your first author paper, and then you are writing your own paper and everything, you're responsible for it, you submit it to a journal, and you a couple months back you hear from the editor with loads of comments, and then it can be an overwhelming process for you. The reason I'm saying why, because lots of these comments are not very nice. They are loaded and they can be very critical. And we are all human beings and we can be very emotional, and this can actually hurt us mentally or emotionally. So in this process, and then if you have a supervisor who doesn't help, or like an abusive relationship with your supervisor, then it exacerbate the situation. It doesn't help at all. So I'm laying out these 5 steps for you if you are in that kind of situation that you don't know what to do when you receive your first reviews from the reviewer, and you think it's too much critical and reviewers are not being nice to you. You're not alone. A lot of people feel that way, but there are ways to handle it. And I'm going to show those that way to you. Hope you find this useful. So first, when you receive your reviews, those reviews are like, they can vary in number. Depending on how many peer reviewers are there. There are sometimes like 3 reviewers, there are 5 reviewers, there are even 2 reviewers, and there are sometimes 1 reviewer. It depends on the policy of the journal. So once you get all the comments back, at that point you will see like different reviewers has different expectation, have different expectation or different kind of fixes that they want to see, and depending on type of the revision that they are requesting or like suggesting. So it could be a minor revision, it could be a major revision. So whether it's a minor or major, you don't have to be very concerned, because if you can address those comments properly, there's a good chance that your paper will be finally accepted and you will be forwarded for the final publication. Your paper will be forwarded for final publication. So what can you do? So let's just think about a scenario that you are in that scenario. We are in the shoe that you have just received all the comments, and you don't know what to do, and you're very emotional at that point. So first, I have to say, like, first, you should seek help. You should talk to someone who has already been through the process. Maybe it could be a postdoc within your lab or within the department. It could be someone, a senior PhD student, or who already has written 1 or 2 papers and who has gone through that process, right? So you talk to them, or you talk to your peers, vent it out, because you could be frustrated at yourself. Or you could think like if you could have done something differently in the past, a different outcome could be expected. But to be honest, it's not your fault. You didn't know, and then the peer reviewers are there to guide you through the process, and you're glad that they did it, right? You should be glad that they are guiding you through the process. So at the end, your paper is peer reviewed, and it's more scientifically accepted. It's more accepted, right? It has more acceptability at that process, through that process. So don't be angry at yourself. Don't be frustrated at yourself. Do not take all these comments personally. It's just the process and you just have to follow through. So first seek help, talk to other people, talk to your supervisor, talk to postdoc, whatnot, and let it out. Talk to someone who knows about the process. And there are mentors everywhere right now. In LinkedIn, you can find people who help each other through the publication process. You can also find them and talk to them. Now, once you are done with step number 1, then you should now do actual work. And this is, you should rank all of the comments. So you may receive 15-20 comments from different reviewers, and then you realize that some of those comments are really very easy to fix. Maybe it's a wording issue, it's a grammar issue, or maybe there's an image missing or some data is missing, and the reviewer wants some data in your manuscript. So there will be some easy problems to fix, and there will be some moderately hard problems to fix. And there will be some hard problems to fix. So you just rank them and just prioritize all the easier problem first. So number 3 would be, once you know all the comments, then you start addressing them from easy to hard. Okay. So once you knock down all the easy comments, once you address all the easy comments, then you have all the moderately easy comments or moderately hard comments to be addressed. Then you address them, and then you have the hard comments to be addressed for the last phase. So, but when you are working on your easy comments to be fixed, in the background you are also thinking about the hard comment, the comments those are a little bit difficult, or difficulty level is too much. Maybe the reviewer wants you to take new data, or do more study, do more experiments. In that case, you continue those actions and work on collecting those data so that you can work on the hard comments, like comments that are hard. I don't know why I'm saying it like that, but you get the point. And fix them. So by this way, you are compartmentalizing your problem solving. So you have some of the easy problems first to figure out. You knock them down, put them out of the way. Then you have your moderately hard, then hard. So that's how you will be done with your 50-60% of the comments. Before you can you have to figure out the hard comments, because these hard comments basically can they can make you cry. Basically, they can hurt you. So yes, and they can be used as a basis to reject your manuscript if the reviewers are not happy with your response. So yes. Get done with your easy comments first and get it out of the way, and then focus on difficult problems. Then you review, and once you review all the responses that you prepared, review it with your supervisor, all other co-authors, all the stakeholders, and then make sure if they all agree with your work. And then through this process, you will always go back and then again readdress them, because through this paper writing process, you always mature yourself, because from the first point when you start writing the paper towards the last time when you actually submit it, you will see there's a huge change. You evolved so much. So when you are reviewing, you will see something went wrong when I prepared those comments. So you go back and fix them. So you should allow yourself some time to review all those review all those comments. You shouldn't keep it schedule it for the final moment. You shouldn't rush it through. You should review it properly. So if you allow 2 or 3 weeks to address all the comments, you should at least allow 2 weeks to review those comments that you just prepared. And once you are done with the review process, you go to the final step when you write the letter, write the official rebuttal or response, and prepare it to send it to the reviewer for the final submission process. And you rework your manuscript again, because when you are responding to the comments, you are also rewriting your manuscript, revising your manuscript. So make sure you revise your manuscript completely, and make sure your comments are on the par to the new manuscript or revised manuscript that you just prepared. So these are all 5 steps. So and you can also break down. You can also allocate time. Like you can have like 2 to 3 days for this. You rank those problems, think it through. Maybe 2 days. It shouldn't take 2 days, but it's up to you. Then you should address like in 2 weeks. Usually they give like 4 weeks to 6 weeks to address all the problems, and then you have like 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks for this review process. It should be 1 week actually, and then it will take 1 day to finally prepare your response. So you can systematically address all these problems without getting too overwhelmed. So that's what I'm trying to say. And this method I applied during my own graduate, when I was a graduate student, and I still use it, although I don't have to write a lot of papers, but I am still working on some of my old papers. So this method helps. So I hope that it would help you as well. Let me know how you like the video, and let me know if you have any more questions. Thank you.